today with a little runner's prehab or a little runner's warm-up you guys can do before running. If you're having some hip pain, IT band syndrome, stuff like that, this would be good for you. All right, let's get into it. So what you're gonna need, we're gonna try a foam roller and a mobility ball peanut, or even just one of these, a lacrosse ball will be just fine. All right, so what we're gonna do to start off with, I want you guys rolling out at lateral hip portion. All right, we're even gonna target a little bit with that mobility peanut. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go get the glutes to start. So we're just gonna start off sitting on it. We're gonna cross one leg over. I want you leaning towards that side, all right, to really open up that hip. We're gonna roll back and forth about 30 seconds. It should be a little tender right here, especially on that left side. Left side houses a lot of tension for a lot of us. All right, so give it about 30. Now again, this is glute max. If you have any pain with it, just relax it. You can stop. All right, guys, after 30 seconds, what I want you guys to do, that same side, really targeting that glute med, all right, which occurs just right at that hip, all right? Right outside that hip, you're gonna feel a fat piece of muscle right there. And just to the rear of it, we're going to put that ball right there, all right? Now from here, I want you to put more pressure on it, all right? Slow and controlled, just like that. Find that tight or tender spot, and then side to side, back and forth, slightly, all right? We want to take a few deep breaths here. This one is going to be for about a minute or so. Really get comfortable on that. Excellent. All right, we're gonna do those exact same things on the other side. All right, so the right side for both glute max and glute med. All right, immediately after that, we're gonna target those quads. All right, this foam roller is a good one because it has these trigger point releases, these little tiny thumbs in there. All right, so we're gonna utilize those. We're just gonna go on one leg. We're gonna cross one over just like a Spider-Man position, and then rolling back and forth, all right? All the way up to the top of the hip, down to about the bottom of the knee, just like that. All right, if you feel that tight or tender spot, hang out on it, even bend that knee. Whew, it's a little bit more pain. Back and forth, side to side. This one will definitely help. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Excellent. All right, just like that. You should be feeling a little bit more relief through those quads. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna free up those ankles. And by I mean the ankles, all right, a lot of times what we're gonna be doing, this influences a lot of our impact, all right? If you guys are toe runners, so that means you like to stay up on your toes during it, or even are a heel runner, we need to free up those ankles, and most importantly, those shins, all right? So we're gonna be doing foam roller, lacrosse ball, whatever you guys want, right on that shin level right here, all right? We're gonna put a good amount of pressure in it, and what we're gonna do is pump that ankle back and forth. All right, so here, I'll show you on the left side. Just to the outside of that bone, what we're gonna be doing, applying pressure, and again, take a look at my foot, back and forth, just like that. You're gonna free up a lot of motion. You can even go in circles if you'd like. All right, you're gonna do that same thing on the opposite side, all right? You should be feeling a lot more motion through those ankles. Now we're gonna start there with a little brief stretch, a little kind of dynamic stretch, I guess. For this one, basically still sticking with the ankles, we're gonna put that forearm and kind of most of the majority of that weight on the front leg, all right? In that half kneeling position, what we're gonna be doing is driving that knee forward over the toe without the heel coming up, all right? So slowly and controlled, going up, check the ankle, good range of motion, and coming back each time. Just like that. And you wanna go in different angles, not just straight forward. Think about the knee tracking outside the pinky toe, then towards the big toe, then the inside of the big toe. You need all of that motion for your ankles to be nice and free. All right, so we're gonna go right here for about 5 times, all right? So that's 5 outside, 5 middle, 5 inside. Good, and you're gonna switch, all right? Right after that, we're gonna free up the rest of those hips. So we're gonna do what's called a figure 4 stretch. All right, you're gonna be laying on your back for this one. From here, we're gonna cross one leg over the other. We're gonna thread one hand through the middle, lift that leg up, go through the back, and then pull right towards you, all right? And just relax right here. Again, about 30-second stretch. Good, you're gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side now, all right? Now what I want you to do, all right? We're gonna have that core warmed up as well, all right? A lot of times what's gonna happen is if you're experiencing those hip pains, knee pains, whatever, you might be in a little bit of an anterior pelvic tilt where your hips go back, you're just running like this, and all that burden comes on the hips and that low back. So what we're gonna be doing is what's called a dead bug. All right, we're gonna be going about 20 times with this one. I should be feeling good right after, but go slowly, all right? All right, so that setup position from here, laying on your back, we're gonna have the legs up just like they would be on a couch. Hands gonna go up towards the sky, all right? Make sure that head and neck is flat, right on the ground. From here, we're gonna go opposite hand, opposite leg, extending out slowly, slow, controlled, back towards the center. Notice how I did that about 3 to 5 seconds on the way out and then coming back. Good, you wanna do 20 of those, all right? You can pause the video at any time if you'd like. All right, the next ones we're gonna do a little bit of a hip variation. If you don't have any bands, you can do this solo or without bands to make it tougher. All right, I'm gonna show you a couple different ones to just warm up the hips. All right, come with me real quick. All right, guys, now from here, what we're gonna be doing is something called a standing clamshell, all right? This is good for balance as well as hip and knee stability. So, you're gonna start off, let's go with one leg just on the ground. You can elevate one just up back on the bench. We're gonna sink those hips slightly, all right? Sink down into it. From here, want them level, all right? Hips are level, core is tight. We're gonna extend one out or bring one out, back towards the center, each one. All right, the majority of that weight should be right over that front leg. We're gonna try 10 times on each side, all right? What I want you guys to try to do, come in contact with that ground, really grip the ground, all right? Is that if you're creating an arch in the middle of that foot, hold it there, slow and controlled on out, all right? We got 10 times each side. You can even, if you'd like to progress this, throw a band right around the knees. See how tough that gets. Excellent. Glutes should be turned on, hips feeling good. All right, we want a little bit more extension though, especially in the rear glutes. So what we can do, this one's called donkey kick. So let's come down to a quadruped position. All right, so that means hands are gonna be on the ground right underneath the shoulders. Hips, knees are gonna be right underneath the hips, all right? What we're gonna be doing just from here, maintaining that flat back, into your spine, kicking up towards the ceiling and back down. Just like that, maintaining that core position. We don't want it to be flexed, anything like that, we don't want it. All right, and this is going to mimic how we're pushing off, how we're running, all right? If we're running, we're extending that hip each time, all right? We need that motion through the hips as we go through, all right? And the last and final ones we're gonna be doing, we're gonna stretch out those toes a little bit. We need a little bit more toe flexibility, all right? So what I want you guys to do, we're just gonna put the toes right underneath, all right? We can even go both right here, toes underneath. We're just gonna sit back on those heels real quick. Give it about 10 seconds and come up. Toes underneath, move back on them if you'd like. And up. Toes underneath. And up. All right, guys, this should be an intro to some runner's prehab for you, all right? If you wanna get more advanced, if you wanna get, let me get into a little bit more of a dynamic warm-up. I can also do that in the next few videos.